Did you know that 1 in 3 seniors will develop dementia or Alzheimer's by the age of 85? That's a frightening statistic, isn't it? But here's the good news. Up to 40% of those cases can be prevented by avoiding certain habits. What if I told you that some of the things you're doing every day could be putting your brain at risk? I've spent decades working with seniors, and I've seen firsthand how the right lifestyle choices can make all the difference in cognitive health. Today, I'm revealing the 5 things you must stop doing after 60 to protect your brain and avoid cognitive decline. Stay with me. This information could genuinely change your life. Before we dive into these critical habits, let's take a moment to understand what we're trying to prevent. Cognitive decline isn't just about occasionally forgetting where you put your keys. It's a spectrum that ranges from mild cognitive impairment to full-blown dementia and Alzheimer's disease. As we age, our brains naturally undergo some changes. The volume of brain tissue gradually decreases, blood flow can diminish, and there might be inflammation or buildup of certain proteins. But here's what many doctors won't tell you plainly. These changes don't have to lead to dementia. Your lifestyle choices play an enormous role in determining your brain's fate. Think of your brain like a garden. You can let weeds take over, or you can tend to it daily, keeping it vibrant and productive well into your golden years. Now, let's look at the 5 habits that are essentially letting weeds grow in your mental garden, and how to uproot them before they cause permanent damage. Number 1. Stop leading a sedentary lifestyle. I see this all the time. Retirement comes, and suddenly, the recliner becomes your new best friend. Days pass with minimal movement, and before you know it, your brain is suffering. Here's what happens physiologically. When you sit for hours on end, blood flow to your brain decreases significantly. Your brain needs oxygen and nutrients that only proper circulation can provide. Studies from the Alzheimer's Association show that physically active individuals have up to a 50% lower risk of developing dementia compared to sedentary people. I had a patient named Robert who spent his first year of retirement watching TV for nearly 12 hours daily. His cognitive assessments showed alarming declines until we implemented a simple walking routine. Just 30 minutes of walking, 5 days a week, and within 3 months, his scores improved dramatically. You don't need to become a marathon runner overnight. Start small. A 10-minute walk after each meal adds up to 30 minutes daily. Try gentle yoga, swimming, or even dancing in your living room. The key is movement that gets your heart pumping moderately. Your brain will thank you with sharper thinking and better memory retention. Number 2. Stop eating a poor diet. That convenient processed food in your freezer? It's convenient now, but could cost you dearly later. The typical Western diet, high in processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats, creates a perfect storm for cognitive decline. These foods trigger inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. They damage blood vessels that supply crucial nutrients to brain tissue and can contribute to the formation of beta-amyloid plaques, the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. I remember working with Elaine, a 68-year-old who lived on frozen dinners and soda. She complained of brain fog and forgetfulness that was affecting her quality of life. We gradually shifted her diet to include more colorful vegetables, fatty fish like salmon, nuts, and berries. Within weeks, she reported feeling mentally sharper. Here's a practical tip. Follow the Mediterranean or MIND diet, which research shows can reduce Alzheimer's risk by up to 53%. Start by swapping 1 processed snack daily for a handful of walnuts or blueberries. Replace 1 meat meal weekly with fatty fish rich in omega-3s. Small changes add up to significant brain protection over time. Number 3. Stop neglecting sleep. "I'll sleep when I'm dead" is a phrase that might bring that reality closer than you think. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired, it actively damages your brain. During deep sleep, your brain performs crucial maintenance. It clears out toxic proteins like beta amyloid through what scientists call the glymphatic system, essentially your brain's cleaning crew. When you shortchange sleep, these toxins build up, potentially leading to cognitive problems. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea are particularly dangerous. They cause hundreds of mini awakenings throughout the night, depriving your brain of restorative sleep and reducing oxygen levels. Studies show people with untreated sleep apnea have a 70% higher risk of developing cognitive impairment. My patient Thomas ignored his wife's complaints about his snoring for years. When he finally got treated for sleep apnea, he was amazed at how much clearer his thinking became. "It's like someone lifted a fog from my brain," he told me during his follow-up visit. To improve your sleep, establish a consistent schedule, even on weekends. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid screens at least an hour before bed, as blue light disrupts your natural melatonin production. If you suspect sleep apnea, common signs include snoring, gasping during sleep, or daytime fatigue despite adequate sleep time. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. Your brain's future may depend on it. Number 4. Stop isolating yourself. After retirement, after losing a spouse, or when mobility becomes challenging, it's all too easy to find yourself increasingly alone. This isolation isn't just sad, it's dangerous for your brain. Humans are social creatures by design. When we lack meaningful interaction, our brains don't receive the stimulation they need. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that lonely seniors have a 50% increased risk of developing dementia. Social isolation appears to accelerate cognitive decline as much as physical inactivity. I'll never forget Martha, who became a virtual hermit after her husband died. Within a year, her memory had deteriorated so significantly that her children thought she had developed Alzheimer's. We encouraged her to join a twice-weekly community art class. The transformation was remarkable. Not only did her cognitive decline halt, but she actually showed improvement in several areas of function. You don't need to become a social butterfly overnight. Start small, perhaps a weekly coffee date with a friend, joining a book club, or volunteering a few hours at a local charity. Even online communities can provide meaningful interaction if mobility is an issue. The quality of connections matters more than quantity. Find activities that genuinely interest you, and the social component will follow naturally. Number 5. Stop ignoring mental stimulation. Your brain follows the use it or lose it principle. Without regular challenges, neural pathways weaken and cognitive reserve. Your brain's ability to withstand damage diminishes. Many people believe crossword puzzles are the answer, but the science suggests you need more variety. Your brain thrives on novelty and progressive challenge. Doing the same word puzzle daily eventually provides diminishing returns as your brain masters that specific task. Instead, embrace the concept of lifelong learning. Learning new skills creates fresh neural connections and strengthens existing ones. It builds cognitive reserve that can help your brain compensate if some areas begin to deteriorate. I worked with a retired accountant named James, who noticed his memory slipping. Rather than accepting it as inevitable aging, he took up piano lessons, something he'd always wanted to do but never found time for. The combination of learning music theory, developing finger dexterity, and memorizing pieces provided comprehensive brain exercise. 2 years later, his cognitive assessments showed improvements across multiple domains. Challenge yourself to learn something new every few months, perhaps a language, a craft, or a musical instrument. Take a different route when driving. Use your non-dominant hand for simple tasks occasionally. Even cooking new recipes involves planning, timing, and problem-solving that exercises different brain regions. I need to be very direct with you now. As a doctor who's worked with thousands of seniors, I've witnessed the heartbreaking progression of dementia in those who ignored these warnings. The research is absolutely clear. The 5 habits we've discussed dramatically increase your risk of cognitive decline. A landmark study in The Lancet identified lifestyle factors that, when combined, account for up to 40% of dementia cases worldwide. The habits we've discussed today are front and center in those findings. Let me be crystal clear. Making changes now, even if you're already in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, can significantly impact your cognitive future. Your brain has remarkable plasticity, the ability to adapt and even heal at any age. But you must take action before symptoms appear. Once dementia sets in, we can manage it, but we cannot reverse it with our current medical capabilities. If you found this information valuable, please share it with someone you care about. It could literally save their brain health. And for more tips on living a healthier, happier life as you age, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits do you think is the hardest to break? Let me know in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else who's struggling with the same challenge. Remember, it's never too late to make changes. Your brain is incredibly resilient, and with the right habits, you can protect it for years to come. I've seen patients in their 80s make lifestyle shifts that improve their cognitive function. Proof that age is just a number when it comes to brain plasticity. In our next video, we'll explore the top 5 brain-boosting foods you should be eating after 60. It's the perfect complement to today's advice, so you won't want to miss it. Take care of your brain, and it will take care of you. Your future self will thank you for the changes you make today. See you in the next one.